Welcome to another edition of the Road Testament with the special guest host today,
Leo.
From Shakedown. Last episode of 2010, and we're going to follow up on last week's topic, which was the best car to buy between $15,000 and $20,000. Leo doesn't like this.
This is a favor I'm doing for JF because you're going to find out how little I know about car prices.
Leo knows racing. He doesn't know this. In fact, I don't think any of us really know anything about this, but we'll try.
I'm sure they know. I just haven't bought a car in like light years.
Living in New York.
There you go.
Light years is a measure of distance.
You haven't bought a car in 13 million miles? 1,600 of you left comments last week suggesting what car to buy for $15,000. I'll tell you right now, Alex has been test driving cars in Los Angeles. We will be doing a series of videos of him actually test driving other cars, but he hasn't had much luck except for one or two exceptions out in LA. Now, you all had comments and suggestions across the board, and we've come to the realization that we kind of need to break up different categories of what cars to buy. So, example.
Gumpert Apollo was on the list. I don't think that's going to qualify.
So, the first most obvious is $15,000 sports car. What would you buy, Leo?
Well, I was looking on Auto Trader, and I found a car that I thought was pretty cool for 15 grand. It was actually 17,650. There's a picture of the back of the car.
Yeah, and then...
And that was perfect, a Lotus.
Yeah, who doesn't want a Lotus at least?
Yeah, then we looked at the picture of the front of the car, and I realized this ain't my game.
So, obviously that's the top end of the very bottom of the barrel fun cars you want to own. But let's be realistic. You can buy Mazda Miatas for $3,000 that are okay. But the top of the line, you can still get some good used 2007 MX-5s for 13, 14.
So here's my gut, and here's where my age comes into play. I was thinking Miata for sure. And you knew a Lotus was going to be out of the ballpark. But then I'm thinking Porsche, and my first inclination was like a 924.
Yeah, but then you've got the 914s, which are much cheaper.
You know what? Which is even better.
Yeah.
So cars like that fit the range?
Of course. The problem is the maintenance.
Now, oh, we need to get into that part?
Yeah. Because there's a lot to this that you don't realize. Alex was pricing out, actually, he was looking at a Audi S4 from 2004, I think he told me. And certainly within the range, you can buy them cheap, but the insurance, that's a big issue. In California, it would cost him $4,000 to insure it in LA, but only $2,000 here in New York. So geography plays a big role in what kind of cars you need to buy for which regions.
And you started to say something, so here I go trying to apply logic. Shouldn't we start with how we're going to use the car? And that starts to define what category we should be talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So,
well, we started talking about sports cars because that's what I want to buy, but Alex needs a car that is has a lot of space because he moves a lot of stuff around. He also moves a lot of people around, so he needs a big car and something he doesn't have to worry about. So sports cars, you guys have plenty of suggestions. Another one that was listed a lot was RX-7s.
RX-7's cool.
That's a very cool car.
Isn't that a maintenance issue with those rotors, though?
Yeah.
Thank you. But it'll get you to Mexico and back.
Now, let's look at sedans. Out of all the sedans you can think of in that range, which I'm sure you can't think of many.
Hertz Rent-A-Car Taurus? No?
Well, let's start basic. If you had that much money, what would you get, Leo?
I would I'd probably look at some type of Audi or Mazda, quite frankly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about racing school?
Oh, you're going to do my joke?
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the joke. They asked me to sit down and what would I drive for 15 to 20 grand? I realized I'd drive 10 days of Skip Barber driving school, and I'd drive really cool cars, race cars, Mazdas, BMWs, Volkswagens, and I get to meet Skip Barber, who's not dead yet.
You see, that's...
So I missed the point.
That's, yeah, you're missing a big point because you can't take that car to any of those cars to the grocery store to do your errands.
How many days of iRacing? No, forget it. Go ahead.
Well, honestly, what car would you buy between $10,000 and $15,000 if you had anything at your disposal?
Not to sound obvious, your 914 idea was a good idea.
Yeah.
I would go that way, and I'd probably lean toward a sports car.
What about sedans?
You know, my wife and I were the family of two sports cars.
Yeah.
and didn't have
She
friends
had,
or care
a
about it.
Z3.
She had a Z3.
You can actually buy Z3s pretty cheap right now.
The 4s or the 6s?
The 4s.
Pass. How about, you know what? How about an MR2? I used to have an MR2. It was
That's
hot
a good
stuff.
car. Mike Spinelli has one.
Well, he had the newer one.
Okay.
I had the classic.
Yeah.
Turbo.
Okay. All right. What about sedans? We're getting off subject. We need a sedan or a small SUV. Which no.
I'm blanking out. I want to say there was some type of Mazda I liked, and I want to say that an Audi 4, one of the old ones, not all the way back to Foxes, would be a cool choice.
Okay. Well, I think one of the best ones out there that people suggested, but no one's really talked about, is the S60, the Volvo. S60 Type R. You can get those cheap.
Why do I feel like they're like asleep at the switch, though?
They
I mean,
are.
not that I'm into the naughty Volvo
Hold on.
campaign.
They're sleepers. They're beyond sleepers.
Are they fast?
Very fast.
Are they good maintenance?
They're like Audis. They are a little bit of a pig. They understeer, but why do you care if you're just going to be driving in LA traffic?
There are places you can go quick in LA.
Yeah, Mulholland Drive, where you can crash into a guardrail.
You've apparently never seen me try to go across town in LA. You can go quick.
Okay, so I think the Volvo was one thing that a lot of you suggested, but not a lot of people think it's obvious. So one question we're posing to you now is, give those oddballs, something that you wouldn't generally think of as being a car you'd want to own. You know, Alex owns a lot of weird cars, Citroen SM. What is out there that is so rare and so unique that would be actually kind of cool to own?
Renault Alliance?
Well, a few people.
No, forget that.
A few people suggested the Land Rover Defender.
All right, that'd be fine.
70% of them are still on the road. Pretty good.
A Jeep with culture?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's really all we're going to talk about today, but it was good to have you on the show, Leo.
Oh my God, don't hold this against me, and I feel like I beat this topic like a baby seal on a Palin family outing. Had to do that joke. I love that joke.
Guys, keep leaving comments. We're going to break them into categories for next week, and then we're going to start picking which ones we should go test drive.
Good luck on this. It was a bug flying through Alex's turtle farm over here.
Thank you, Alex, for letting us use your apartment. Oh, there it is.
Thank you. There we go. Got him. Great.
Cool.